Hey everybody, it's Aldo Gandhi, and I just want to let you know really quickly that our swag shop is reopened. DeepDishTees.com is where you go, and that's tees with T-E-E-S. Clever name, guys. They're the new home of our merchandise. You can get t-shirts, you can get caps, you can get coffee mugs, you can get hoodies, you can get all sorts of good stuff, and you'll help out the bar room with the purchase. So head over to DeepDishTees.com.
Some may find the following disturbing. Discretion is advised.
Here we go, Barflies. Welcome to the Barfly Tailgate Show. I'm waiting for that little screen to go.
Yeah, just keep talking.
It's live. It's done by Barflies. 4 Barflies and all the other Bears fans out there. Yeah, so it's back to Soldiers Field today. You know, probably another fucking beatdown. Or not today, sorry, tomorrow. Probably another little go at it. It's been fucking miserable, boys. But whatever. We're here to kind of talk about our shared misery and everything else that everybody else fucking hates, and we'll go from there. So let me start it off with Mr. Badge of Honor, Ryan Badgley Badge. What's up, dude?
Yo, what's up, Bobby? It's just funny, man. Hearing, the way it started off, to me, it was funny based on our conversations Friday night, man. I think both of us are to the point with this team, dude, that, to sit there on Monday night last week or Sunday night, whenever, that's how much I don't give a fuck. I can't even remember the day. To see this team come out now, they haven't scored 30 points all year and put 30 points up in the first half. You should be like, oh my gosh, hey, maybe they figured something out. Come on. We're all smart enough. We all recognize that it's Matt Nagy still running this team. I went to bed in as the third quarter was starting, and I knew, I lost no sleep. I knew what was going to transpire. I was telling Chris as we came on this morning that, man, I fucking got up. I did my normal routine, and it was damn near 9:30, 10 o'clock before I even went and looked at the score. That's how much I'm just to the point that none of this surprises me. I mean, yay, what a first half. Woohoo! It's like fucking kindergartners. Hey, you learned the alphabet. Yay! Now, hopefully 95% of them will graduate from high school, but you've still got that 5% that, hey, if they couldn't get the alphabet then, chances are, it's not going to bode well for them. This Matt Nagy has yet to produce an offense that's put together an entire game. And I shouldn't even just say offense, a team, a fucking team. I'm Billy Bob. Fucking team hasn't put together a team that's played an entire game in his whole tenure, in his entire freaking tenure here. And to me, I don't want to hear it. Oh, but they played so good in the first half. Well, okay. And then they shit down their leg in the second half. I'm tired. I'm sick of fucking talking about this fucking team. And I'm going to take a back seat and let some other guys talk about it for a while.
What an introduction. I mean, I was just saying good morning, motherfucker. I didn't ask you.
No
I didn't ask you.
yeah.
I didn't ask you to
sorry.
give
Good
me
morning.
the last 4 years of fucking football. Jesus. Next, we got Mr. Chris Watson. You know, a special guest. He's here again. Chris, what's up, brother? How
Hi.
you doing?
I'm doing good, mate. Doing good. It's a pleasure to be back on the show again. I can't believe you've asked me back after last week, so I'm really happy.
You're always welcome back, man. Always welcome.
Cheers.
And then last but not least, jumping in the room, we got the bearded Bears fan, Mr. Aaron Current. What's up, AC?
What's going on, fellas? We got a ton to talk about, man. From Collinsworth gobbling Rogers knob to fucking COVID coming back like it's Cam Newton talking about I'm back, and then Urban Meyer kicking his players and then getting kicked out of town, and of course the Bears.
Yeah, everything but the offense in the Bears we got to talk. I mean, if you guys
Bears special teams showed up, man. We ain't seen that in years.
Yeah. I mean,
I'd rather talk about.
They were like this. Remember, they were like this during the game. We're all texting each other, and we'll get into it later. But during the game last week, we're all texting each other, and damn, it was a straight roller coaster. The whole fucking thing, like, yeah, look at that. Oh, you fucking idiot. Yeah, go. Like it was just a straight roller coaster, and Badge's stock was plummeting, and then back shoot skyrocketed again, and then plummeted again. But yeah, we'll get back. I mean, I don't think first half was good, right? It wasn't Nagy's offense. It was more so special teams. But then we found a way to do something good, do something bad. Do something good, fucking shit it away again. It's kind of just the back and forth, right? I mean, we, for some reason, I want to say it was inside the 5, we decided to kick a field goal against the fucking Packers, which was stupid. Was something, one of the first things I texted these guys, like, fuck it, your offense hasn't worked all year.
Yeah.
You got down here inside the 5 against the Packers. Just fucking go for it.
We punted it on like the first drive at like the 40. We punted.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like,
I did go for that 4th and 11 at that 4th and inches as well later on.
Yeah, at the end. Yeah.
I don't know, man. It seems
Sorry,
like
man. Yeah, go ahead.
But I mean, I will say this for the players, though, man, they haven't quit. I mean, Badge got on here last week and was talking about Jakeem Grant, talking about how he ain't done shit. And then the next thing you know, he comes out, he's got that little shovel pass reverse, and he takes a 97-yard punt, which apparently was a Bears record. So, I mean, we had the best. I saw that online this week that was a Bears record for 97-yard punt return.
That has to be wrong. I mean, I was at like 3 fucking games where Hester did it. Oh no, I guess that was a field goal that came back 99 yards. The one I seen in New York.
That was a missed
that was
field
a
goal.
botched field goal that came back 99. Was the other one a field goal too?
I know Nathan Vasher's big return was a missed field goal that he took back. That was
And I thought he returned one 98 yards against the Vikings.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe on a punt. Maybe on a punt standpoint.
I didn't check my sources. I'm sorry. I just
you
saw that
fucking,
and I was like, oh shit.
Motherfucker came in and said the internet is my source. Jesus.
Right. It's on Facebook. It's got to be true, right?
Oh, too right.
Yeah, totally right. Everything you read on the internet is true.
Yeah, Brummy Bear said that Hester's returned that. Yeah, it was a field goal. I remember when that game, dude. I mean, let me just talk about something that was nice for once. That game, all the Giants fans start clearing out after the Bears are winning, and I'm going around like they were talking shit all game. And I'm going around slapping chairs. Like, there used to be a Giants fan here. There was one here. There's still one right here. Fucking, there used to be one here. Like, oh, man, it was funny. All after that fucking punt return. But anyway, so the punt return, yeah, then the second half, right? We come out and just fucking shit down our leg. And I know you said like a lot of the players haven't given up, but I didn't pull the audio or anything. I'm sure you guys heard though. Jalen Johnson on Bleacher, I think it was Bleacher Report.
No, it
no, it wasn't. It was
Red Line Radio, I think.
Yeah, it was Barstool. Comes out and says the locker room is divided. Comes out and says basically the locker room is divided. We got half the players that are just quitting. They're tapping. They're making business decisions for next year. They know that they're out of the playoffs. They know that this offense sucks. And they're making business decisions to ensure that their health is there next year. I mean, he didn't say any names, but he said, yeah, there's definitely dudes that are kind of calling it a day. They're fucking wrapping it up and whatever. What do you think about those comments, Badge?
I mean, I quit like 5 weeks ago, so I'm surprised they lasted this long. I mean, fuck. I mean, I knew when they brought this fucking dipshit back last season what this was going to be. I mean, you know, as a sports fan for your team, there's always hope. Yeah, there's hope that it's, but you knew right away. I mean, we've been there, we've done it, we've seen this before. Fuck, somebody else talk about it.
This is going to be a very short show, Bad.
Yeah. No, I'm talking more about the players. The players tapping out, I guess. Like,
oh, well, good for them. I'm surprised. Like I said, I'm surprised they lasted this long. I would have fucking tapped out after week 1 if I were some of these guys, especially the offensive guys. Like the defensive guys, you know, some of them have been around Sean Desai. They like Sean Desai. You know, some of them have learned directly under him. The offensive guys, if they've been here, they knew what they were getting into. You know, they knew that this offense wasn't going to be shit. You know, I mean, how could you not? What you've seen the product, especially if you're a guy that's been in it since it got here, and you heard it was going to take 3 years to fully learn the offense. Well, it's fucking year 4. There's guys that should know it inside and out, and we still can't execute. So those fucking guys, they fucking knew, but they're getting paid. It's their job.
Yeah. I mean, it is. It's an embarrassment. You know, I mean, for the players, I could see players just like, you know what, like fuck it. Yeah. Like what are we doing here?
Right, Bob, but I think it's second half. It didn't take much for the team to start falling apart, did it? And I think that's sort of a bit of a side as well about what you were saying, Bobby, about players giving up on the team because, you know, we were actually in the lead, you know, at the end of the first half. And as soon as Green Bay got going, the team just fell apart like a deck of cards in my eyes.
Yeah, you're right. It was like all the wind just took. All they had to do was make one drive, and then the wind was out of the sails, and it was like, you know what, screw it, fuck it. Yeah. We knew this was going to happen, and the players just, I guess, Roquan has been pretty vocal about this, and I mean, I'm not going to call out any players for doing it because I don't know who's doing it, but I could see and understand that they're like fucking frustrated, and I mean, pretty soon it's just going to be fucking anarchy. He's already lost the locker room. He has to, right? He has to have lost the locker room. Like who's – yeah, and then even this week with everybody in COVID protocols, every fucking coach, every assistant, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and special teams coordinator are all in COVID protocols right now. So I don't even know what the fuck happens. I mean, they might come out today. It's potential that they could be released from it today, but tomorrow, going into tomorrow, what the fuck is Nagy going to do? I mean, this dude can't do anything right to begin with.
Right.
Go ahead.
I saw a tweet that said that the backup coaches, if they're not able to get off COVID protocols, is DeFilippo at OC, Mike Pettin at DC, and then a guy I had never even heard of as a special teams coordinator. I guess he's the assistant special teams coordinator, so that's probably why I've never heard of him, because he's the backup to the backup, you know. And so, I mean, I guess they have a plan in place, but the injuries are, I mean, the COVID is really going to hinder us in this game. I worry about, I mean, it never came out, but as soon as I saw Andy Dalton had it, I was worried about Justin and Nick getting it because we've seen it before. I think we saw it last year in Denver when they had to run a wide receiver at quarterback because one of their guys caught it, and then the other two quarterbacks were close contact. But nothing's came out saying that Justin's got it, so that's a positive. We'll at least get to see him. Us as Bears fans, we're pretty much looking for, I don't know what Badge is looking for. I guess he's watching Christmas movies. But the rest of us are kind of watching individual performances and seeing what we see for the future. Guys like Jalen Johnson and guys like Roquan and, Mooney didn't look great. You got to see what you got there. Jakeem Grant had his big game. I did want to talk
everybody
about.
was riding fucking Mooney's dick 2 weeks ago. Oh, he's the number one. Fuck Allen Robinson, man.
No way, man.
But it
Drop too many passes.
But he didn't fucking show up as he's done multiple times this season. Fucking get out of here. This fucking team ain't shit. When is everybody gonna realize it? They fucking don't give a fuck. Holy hell. It's fucking sickening. I'm sorry. I can't. What fucking positives? There's none. These fucking offensive guys aren't going to be playing in this shitty system next year. They're not. The defensive guys aren't going to be playing in the defense next year. Nothing matters. It's good to see a young player like Justin Fields have some success. I don't even want him on the fucking field with these guys. You've seen that they don't care if he gets hurt or not. Like the season's fucking done. It's over. There's zero to play for these guys. Unless they're a free agent, they've got a chance to put something on tape to hopefully, it would probably be a dream for some of these guys to get away from this fucking team and this organization. For some of these guys, you hear Akeem Hicks say, "Oh, I love Chicago. I would come back." Blah blah blah. Why? Look what it started out so high for this group. Super Bowl aspirations. We're the fucking bottom of the barrel. We're at the bottom. Fuck. What else how low can it go? Everybody shits on the Lions, but at least they fight every week. This team shows up for a half.
The Lions,
fucking half.
I think the Lions
year
have
over
a better.
year.
Isn't the Lions have a better rated offense than us? I haven't looked.
I'm sure that everybody
I'm
has
sure
a better.
they do.
We're
I think we're 30.
I'm sure. Yeah, we're like 32. And going into like this week, and I was just me and Badge and Chris were just talking about this beforehand. Even though everybody's like, "Oh, well, Minnesota this, Minnesota that," Minnesota's got their third ranked overall offense in the league. Third.
They got crazy weapons, man. They got Jefferson, and I don't know if Thielen's going to play or not. If he doesn't play, that helps us out. But Jefferson's
I think I saw him ruled
stud.
out this morning, AC. It sounded like Thielen was out, yeah.
It was something with his damn Achilles or something, right?
I thought it was an ankle
They
injury.
said ankle, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've
But
got him on a
either way,
fantasy team, so I'll have to.
Yeah, that's what I was.
That.
I was just doing the same thing. I was just looking at it like, wait a minute, let's see where he's or why he's out. But either way, there's Don Bird, Detroit versus everybody.
Go on, Don. Keep believing,
you can
brother.
give him that. That's just how much.
I think. Yeah, let's move back for a second though. I think the whole spirits of all this of Chicago is out of this team right now, and I get. I think. Maybe Torian said it earlier. Maybe it was King Pookie, but somebody was like, you can't just, or whatever. They said something about once a Bears fan or you can't just give up on your team. It's not giving up. It's kind of just like accepting.
Empathy is what we've all become.
And you're just accepting the fact that this is who we are, right? It's not being a fucking homer. It's not any of that shit. Yeah, of course. Do you want to see the players do well? Yeah, but you know what? Year after fucking year, this shit happens. And we go to straight fucking shit. And we get lucky. There hasn't been a sustainable team on either side of the ball. I don't even care if you go back to fucking Urlacher and them. There hasn't been a sustainable winning season. There's no fucking okay, build on this, build on that, build. Like, we don't fucking do any of that. It's like we get a lucky year, we get a flash in the pan year. Next year we come back, all the same weapons. Like, oh, here we go, it's fucking 100-year, baby. We're going to the fucking Super Bowl. Fucking whack. Like, sit the fuck down. You guys ain't shit. Like, you and your fucking trick play offenses. That's how you get downfield with. Oh, what's the name of the special play this week? Oh, it's Santa Sleigh. That's how we do it. Like, the fuck out of here, man. Like, there's nothing sustainable about any of this. I honestly think fucking everybody in that building should just be fucking shit cannibal. Boom. And I was telling Bash the other day.
You're fired. Fired. You're fired.
I mean, all the way at the top. You got to get rid of. I mean, you got to get rid of Teddy and everybody. I mean,
yeah, fuck them all, dude.
Right. Yeah. Because they've shown the inability to build. They've shown the inability to hire the correct people, the football guys, to build a team. And that's that. Yeah, I'm at that point now. Yeah, fire fucking all of them. Get rid of them.
I was looking for a GIF, and I don't know why. I thought I seen one before, and I don't even know what movie it would be from. But it was like an old woman in a wheelchair, like with a shotgun. Fucking like that should be Virginia. That she should just be fucking rolling by everybody's office, like fucking just taking them all out. Like, get the fuck out of here. And I don't. Go ahead, Chris.
Sorry, Bobby. How much sort of day-to-day influence do you think she actually has? Do you just think it's just
I don't even think she wipes her own ass anymore. I'm just saying, like, I don't think she has an influence, but I just would love. Somebody's got to do it, right?
Oh yeah, so you're right.
Somebody's got to come through and just. And every year you get like these little comments towards the end of the year, right? Like this year they're like, well, he's gonna. He's gonna back off of football operations. Right.
But last year you said he wasn't in football operations.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. But last year he said he had nothing to do with it. Have nothing to do. I have a meeting with the fucking GM at the end of every year or at the end of every week or whatever, just to see where we're at and how things are going. But I'm not into football operations. Get the fuck out of here. Like,
I wish we'd have a meeting with the GM. I mean, we don't even see the guy. He comes out and he does one interview before the season with Hogan Johns, and then you don't see his ass until draft night.
I think you're right there, Richie. I think that's one thing that gets like the fans quite angry is the lack of communication. You know, especially because it must be turmoil up at Howard's Hall at the moment between front office, the coaches, and the players, and you never, because that's going on. People just want to see that there's some sort of direction going for the club, or somebody's actually going to make a decision. We think, right, we're going that way. And I think with the lack of communication we get, us fans, we start thinking about all these different things and what could happen and all this sort of thing. And I think that's what frustrates a lot of us. Does frustrate me anyway.
Yeah. Because you see the potential. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you see
that's right. Yeah.
It's that fucking relationship, man. It's like a relationship with a fucking druggie. You see the potential and everything. You're like, and then that motherfucker robs your mother, and then you're chasing this bitch through the middle of the street. Hey, babe, I love you. No, I'm kidding. but it's just like, what the fuck, man? It's the beaten dog syndrome. It's the want to have belief, want to have faith in something that you've loved for so long, but eventually you just need to like sit back and be like, man, this shit ain't good for me. Like, fuck, man.
Didn't somebody take the Pace and Nagy presser and George and Ted from last year where they used collaborate 50 times and make it into a song? Because if they didn't, they should. And it should be Vanilla Ice's Ice Ice Baby, because you can just kick it with, all right, stop, collaborate, and you can just go from there. And totally fucking, like, that's to the point I'm at, is I would rather spend time doing that.
You got to just send that part, all right, stop. Just send it to Hogan Johns and tell him when Nagy gets to the podium and he begins to talk, just fucking hold it up and play, like, goddamn, on a boombox. All right, stop. Boombox. Where's Brummy Bear? Where are you at? Where's Brummy Bear at? Is he?
Did you guys see the Jalen Johnson and Matt Nagy comments, though? Jalen Johnson was like, yeah, they did a good job moving Devontae Adams around and getting him open. And then Nagy was like, no, they didn't do anything different. And then the statistics showed that, and we saw that that Jalen Johnson was correct. Like,
Yeah. So that was another thing that was like, Nagy said that there were no halftime adjustments, and then Jalen Johnson's like, well, they came out and made all these fucking adjustments, and then they're like battling back and forth, not back and forth, but whatever. Yeah. And like AC said, if you go back and watch, it's correct. They move Adams to the slot so that he's not 1v1 with fucking Johnson on the outside. But I think what Nagy meant to say was we didn't make any halftime adjustments.
Right.
You know, we didn't do shit. Yeah. Tori and I seen that. I seen that yesterday.
Yeah, I did too.
I'm sure AC seen it too.
Yeah. SmackDown.
Yeah. Oh, so Brummy's in the UK. I just because he kept saying I don't know if I'm gonna watch today, and I was like, but the game's on tomorrow night at fucking 8:20. Like, where the hell is he? Is he in Japan? Is that how's that today? Tomorrow? Like, maybe he's just saying today because of the show. But anyway, yeah. So I think, dude, this whole fucking thing just shows how the lack of, even if. How do you not go back and be like, hey, they adjusted to this, like defense do this, then Desai runs it in, like, hey, they've moved fucking this guy down to here, right? And how do you not know that? How do you not see it?
Why don't you just say to Jalen Johnson, you follow Devontae Adams wherever he goes? Even
when he did that, they just do a rub route and have the tight end hit him, knock him off, and then Devontae's wide open. Now, technically, that is a penalty. They're not supposed to be able to run rub routes because that's pass interference. But here we are.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what they did.
We're the only team that gets called for that.
Well, I was shocked when they called the offensive pass interference in the first half on Devontae because we never get that call ever. And I know, Bad, you're talking about not ever giving this team your money. Jalen Johnson's about to be my next jersey. I'm waiting on Roquan to get re-signed before I buy that one, but I love the way Jalen Johnson plays.
I'll make my own fucking jersey, so that way it's cheap.
You go on over there and I'm not. This is just us girls talking, right? I get my jerseys. I get my jerseys on Poshmark. I don't ever pay full price. Since I lived in Korea, I will not pay full price.
Mate. I always get mine from China.
Yeah.
£20, so it'd be like what, $30?
What'd you say?
I think he froze
from China. Sort of copies for about 20 quid.
Chris, you're kind of freezing in and out. I mean, I got excited for a minute because your face was like this. But you know,
you know what? It's usual have it all the time.
There you go.
I always have a look of surprise and disappointment on my face. Oops.
God dang.
Quick. No, I shouldn't say that. Oh, there we go.
But with this whole,
it's just goddamn. It's just sorry. So
no, you're good,
dude.
Who gives a fuck? I don't care. I was just laughing about it. But I mean, don't you guys think so? Roquan should be back. Jalen's a fucking heavy. You know, he's staying for sure. I would think.
Hey, Juwan Evans, that's where I was stationed. Camp Casey, baby. Let's go.
I mean, at this point, the season's fucking. It's a wrap. We ain't doing shit. You know, we're just trying to spoil
the Playboy hunt, the playoff hunt.
We're just trying to spoil other teams' playoffs. Yeah, we're just trying to spoil other team playoff possibilities. And I don't even know why we would do that. Like, fuck it. Let the Vikings, like, if the Vikings win, then they get a fucking lower draft pick. You know, they're going backwards on the draft, and it just doesn't make sense to me to fucking whatever. I would use all the rest of these weeks as basically as job experience, as evaluation.
Well, I want to see Justin Fields continue to see NFL defenses. I know Badge wants him to sit, but you don't learn how fast these defenses are watching tape. You've got to be out there and experience it. It sucks because he's going against I believe the Vikings have the most sacks in the NFL, and we got Tevin Jenkins at left tackle.
I was just going to say that. Let's talk about Tevin
maybe
Jenkins.
Fetty on the right tackle.
Yeah. And what do you guys think of Tevin Jenkins' debut?
You could definitely tell he was a rookie.
Yeah,
I think you could tell as well because he hadn't had any sort of padded practices. So the game must have been so fast for him. But I do like his temperament. I do like his attitude. He just sort of get a bit stuck in, right and play right to the whistle. So I think he's got potential. I wasn't expecting anything from him this week at all in playing. I just thought, just how he goes, really get that game experience.
Yeah, go ahead.
When Peters went down, I was worried because Tevin's, he hasn't played at this level, and he played at the Big 12 in college, so he didn't see. I mean, he might have saw a couple guys maybe when he played Oklahoma or Texas. He might have saw a couple guys that are NFL guys, but Preston Smith, that's another step. You know what I'm saying? And we don't know how many tools he got in his bag. You know what I'm saying? He didn't play left tackle very often in college at all. So he was kind of thrown in there on the fly, and I was really worried about it.
Did you see his stance though? I went back and I kind of watched it again after he came in. The way that he sets up, it just looks weird to me. And honestly, if you go back and watch any of this, and I know it's tough to do, I just wanted to go back and specifically watch Tevin Jenkins, right, and see how he handled things. That motherfucker was grabbing bitches by the neck. He was just doing anything. They weren't calling it, but he was literally holding on almost every fucking play, dude. And some of it's gross. The dude tries to do the bend around and shit, and he's like, give me that neck, boy. Come here. And it's ugly.
He's kind of got that Kyle Long to him, his attitude, the way he's gonna punch you in the mouth. And he might get penalized for it, or he might not. It doesn't make a difference. But he's got a lot to learn. I don't know if he's the left tackle of the future. Like I've said on here many times, I'd rather see Borum over there and see him at right tackle because that's where he played in college. And Borum, the limited snaps that we saw him get in, it was against the Rams, I believe. He held his own over there. And Jenkins just. Jenkins might be fine. He might be. I don't know, but
yeah.
I don't think he. The kid spent all off season hurt. Didn't get a chance at all. No reps in training camp. Anything. So he's really just ramped up the last couple weeks. So I don't think. Yeah, he didn't perform well. But what more can you expect coming in with zero chance at really getting anything, and against the guys like Sedarius Smith, it's hard to expect much.
It's questionably right, but it's question that left tackle is probably the toughest position in football. Outside of everything else, I think that's probably that's the hardest position to play, and that's why I was so kind of upset with the way that the Bears handled this at the beginning, where they're like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna put him at left tackle."
Yeah,
fuck it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Whatever.
What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, come on, man. Yeah, and that's you constantly get bull rush, constantly get pressure, constantly, all this shit, and we're talking about a dude that has back problems, and you're going to have to put your base down, right? You need those fucking tree trunks, fucking base down, and you got to fend off this bull rush. You know how much pressure that's going to put on this dude's back and on his lower back and all that? That's why I was kind of if you're already dealing with somebody who's hurt, why are you going to throw him straight into a position where all this fucking pressure is going to come at him? Let him let him build up a confidence level in the game. Or
you
in the
stick
season,
him at guard where you can hide him a little bit before you just throw him to the wolves. I get what you're saying, Bobby. But he has said that his back feels like he's 18 again. I don't know how much you can take that. He has said that in an interview.
Anyway.
Hey, let's go ahead and bring this motherfucker in, Mr. Ryan Kirkland Billings. Look at this dude working at fucking. Well, I guess not Chick-fil-A because that bitch is closed on Sunday too. He's got the smock on. He's got the little suit going. What's up, brother? How you doing? Well, you're muted, so it would help if you weren't.
Oh wow! What's cracking, y'all? What's going on, baby? What's going on, fellas?
Good, man.
But man, getting on here, seeing new faces. What's going on,
Yeah,
Chris?
man. Good to meet you, KB. Good to meet you, mate.
Hell, I thought you was a fake person for like a few years now. Hell, it's good to see you, baby.
A lot of people thought the same as well.
Oh man, but man, what I done missed, man? What's going on? I hear y'all talking about Tevin Jenkins, man. What's cracking?
What'd you think of his debut performance of Jenkins' debut?
He looked like a rookie. It was a lot of ups and it was a lot of downs. You seen him doing what he did in college, man, getting downfield, you know what I'm saying, making blocks, and then you seen him getting beat. I mean, it's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Ain't no way to sugarcoat it. They didn't protect him. They threw him out there and left him on the island pretty much the entire game. So you got to see all the mistakes, all the days he hadn't been in practice, and all that shit was full view for everybody to see. So it's a mixed bag, man. Am I mad? Yeah. Hell no. He's a rookie. You can't be mad. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if he's a second round pick. He's a rookie. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, mixed bag for me, which it's not a bad thing because he could have came out there and he could have been
horrible.
Latavius Simmons bad,
Right.
I mean, he made it through the game, right? I mean, he made it through the game. Go ahead.
The coaching staff probably could have helped him out too. I mean, we had one rush in the second half with David Montgomery. Like David Montgomery had one carry in the second half, and that's what Tevin Jenkins did well in college. That's what every highlight tape I've seen of him is him run blocking, taking his defender to the ground, and you don't even give him a shot to do that.
Wasn't that one rush out of the Wildcat too?
I don't know. I hate the Wildcat. We run that
too, man.
We used to run that here at Kentucky quite a bit. We did it really well with JoJo Kemp when he was here.
Did y'all start it? Ain't that why it's called the Wildcat?
No, that ain't it.
Oh, never mind. Y'all, Kentucky ain't the Wildcat. Never mind.
We are the Wildcats, but that ain't why it's called the Wildcat formation. We didn't start it. Actually, the first time I saw it was down in, I think, Miami when they had Ronnie Brown or something like that. I remember they ran it. I don't know where it came from before that.
Just take credit for it, Kentucky. Fuck, let's move on.
Yeah,
I like having the quarterback back there because it at least pulls the defender's eyes. You know what I'm saying? If you got your quarterback over here, they know it's either going to be a run straight up the middle with Montgomery or he's going to run this. He's going to hand it off to somebody and do the reverse, which I hardly ever see him do. I've never really seen the Wildcat work that well, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe in fucking high school football.
Yeah.
That's really
it might be where Nagy's coaching next year, so he'd be good to go.
I don't even know, man. Like he already got booed at a high school game. But I mean, you're the only NFL coach to get booed at a game. I don't know, but either way, man, it's like I was saying earlier, like this Wildcat shit, this trick play shit, this not playing to the strengths of your fucking team. Like there is no progressively building anywhere on this team. There's no fucking plays that build off each other. We're not fucking playing to our players' strengths. We're not doing any of that shit. So I don't know. I mean, and I get it. Like everybody, well, Chicago's never done that. Like, why? Fuck you. Just fire this bitch and go on from there.
Yeah.
He got to kick somebody, bro. Damn.
It's literally delaying the inevitable, and it's just going to continue to make this team fall apart.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to lose the confidence in anybody on the team. You're going to lose the confidence of free agents coming in because you don't hold people accountable as an organization.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not holding people accountable as an organization and shit starts to fall off the rails, how do you bring it back in? We just wait till next season. That's what we do. We wait till next season, and then we hope that the fucking fans are going to buy back in again. You guys seen what 2 weeks ago? I want to say it was right before halftime, and then when the second half started, there was fucking like nobody in the stands.
Yeah.
And I mean the place cleared out. And I'm not sure what they're going to get on a Monday night game that's going to be any better, especially now like that Chicago's getting colder. Like all the things start to be, that people are like, I don't know if I want to go to the game. I don't know if I'm going to go freeze my fucking ass off for a team that doesn't.
You know what
win.
I think? I think that it was just I was watching Game Day View, whatever the fuck it's called, with Cynthia Freeland and whatever. Before we started, and they're talking about Nagy being 5-1 against the Vikings. So you look at that and you're like, okay, this guy's clearly had success against this team. A lot of that has been the defense, picking off Kirk Cousins and giving the team a short field. So I can see, some people saying, hey, you know what? They got a chance because Nagy's 5-1 against them. And I think they do. I mean, it's the Vikings, you see them go out and they beat the Packers and then lose to the Lions, so they're up and down and they're, more on the up than what we are. So, I mean, they've got the third best offense in the NFL. It's clearly playing in their favor, but a few years ago, everything was playing in their favor when they came to Soldier Field as well. And, we shut the door with a, Eddie Jackson pick six. So,
he don't play for us no more though.
Yeah, it's not the same now. I mean, he's, the thing that shocked me, I think the most in the first half Sunday night was watching him smash Aaron Jones out of bounds. I freaking damn near fell out of my goddamn chair. When I saw him lay a shoulder into him, I thought, holy shit, Eddie Jackson just laid the wood. Fuck. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Maybe this will be a different game. And it wasn't.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, I think that's what, kind of what we were alluding to earlier, where people or players are taking plays off, or they're not, or they're playing for a reason or not. I don't think they're playing for the organization at all anymore. I think they're just playing for each other, and that's it. They're just playing for each other. They're out there, trying to do it. But Badge, me and you were talking, and Allen Robinson was asked in an interview. Well, not even asked. He was kind of told in an interview, like, "Hey, Alan, good morning, fucking Bob from the Barfly Tailgate Show. Do you know that you're the number one receiver in the NFL to run hitch routes? You've run the most hitch routes in the NFL." And he just like,
dude. He kind of went,
yeah. He chuckles.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in an offense, and I
do what's asked of me.
Told.
Yeah. And and I get everybody, right? And I think that's something that you got to kind of take into perspective and kind of go with, because a lot of Bears fans are against A-Rob right now, and because he's supposed to be a number one and he hasn't produced, right? He's supposed to do this, supposed to whatever, and he hasn't produced. He's dropped some balls, sure, and he hasn't been getting separation, but when you look at the amount of routes and the type of routes he's run compared to previous years, we don't use A-Rob as a number one anymore. He's just not fucking used that way. I mean, you can't be the number one and have the most fucking hitch routes in the NFL out of any wide receiver. That's fucking crazy.
My question would be, is that an A-Rob thing, or is that an organizational thing?
Yeah. No,
You got a guy on the franchise tag that you're not going to want to pay. But I'm saying, you got a guy on the team that you're not going to want to pay on the franchise tag. Let's make him run fucking hitches.
But you're already fucking paying him.
But you got to pay him next year. If he comes out with another 100 catch season and 1,000 yards, that $20 million starts to look really good, huh?
Yeah, but I mean, no matter what he does this year, the franchise tag is still going to be the same fucking price if you're going to do it 2 years in a row. It's still going to be.
It goes up, don't it?
KB's talking. Yeah, if you do it next year, it goes up again. But KB's talking about, if you're going to keep someone around long term, if they have a season like this that they've put on,
then you got ammunition.
Right.
Oh, you had a bad season. You didn't even have over 500 yards receiving.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Hasn't he been,
At this point, can you put it past the organization doing it?
Yeah. Hasn't he had an injury there? I'm sure I heard some of that. He's been carrying an injury.
Yeah, he did have a little bit of an injury a couple weeks ago, and now he's in COVID protocols. So as of right now, and I think it's still the same. I haven't looked this morning, but Eddie Jackson's in COVID protocol. A-Rob's in COVID protocol. Somebody else. Well, obviously,
Artie Burns.
Yeah, Artie Burns and Borum, and then the 3 coaches. Are all in it.
It's starting to get bad in Chicago.
They basically need 2 negative tests in a row, or 2 negative tests in order to play tomorrow. As of yesterday, obviously they're not going to tell us if they have negative tests or not. But as of yesterday, there's still a chance for them to play Monday night. Now, if they officially get listed out, you can just go ahead and guess that they didn't pass one of their tests, because it can be 2 negative tests within a 24-hour period. So they can take one now, take one at fucking noon, take one, whatever. So they can do 2 tests in order to play tomorrow, but they both have to come back negative. So we'll see what happens with all that and if these dudes are even playing.
Yeah. But we do have primetime Kirk we're going against, so it's going to be like, who wants it the least?
Yeah, I think in prime time his name's Kurt, and then on Sunday he's Kirk. I forget how it goes.
Sunday at 1 o'clock.
The other family member. He not Kirk's first cousins. He Kirk's the other family member on prime time. That's what he is.
I think Kurt did great today. Oh man! And then I know you kind of mentioned it earlier, the whole Collinsworth fucking thing. And
I was just going to bring that up. Yeah.
Go ahead, Chris. What you got, man?
I found it quite sickening by the end of the game. It was sort of like, I know he's a great player, but everything was positive about Aaron Rodgers, and it was sort of like getting a little bit creepy at one point. It was sort of going beyond a man crush or something quite strange, and I just don't see how I found it it was just going too far with Aaron Rodgers all the time. There was nothing he could do wrong. And Aaron Rodgers has not been the most sort of popular guy this year with some of the things he's been saying about having a vaccine and not having a vaccine and all that bullshit, and basically lying and putting his players in his fellow teammates in danger because he won't get a jab. But I found it quite sickening after a while. It was really getting on my nerves.
Man, I mean, on Twitter, and people that weren't even Bears fans were talking about, like, imagine being a Bears fan and having to listen to this guy talk about Aaron Rodgers like this. And the thing that really blew me away is he was like, yeah, you can agree or disagree with what he said about the vaccine, but no one's been more honest than Aaron Rodgers. The motherfucker, are you kidding me? Yeah, no one's been more honest?
Like, after I beat you and satisfy all the Hulkamaniacs, I'm going to get off by cranking your knob just a little beyond the breaking point.
Yeah, Collinsworth was cranking the hell out of that knob.
Yeah, he was, man. I mean, he's always like this, though. And Carrie knows, like, me and Carrie will be watching, and she knows who Collinsworth is just because I'm like, shut the fuck up, Chris. Not you, Watts. You know, but like every time I'm like, this fucking asshole. Then he's like, oh, there's whatever. I don't know who he said, but he's like, there's whatever with the tackle. I'm like, that was fucking Roquan, you dumbass. Like, and then it's like, oh, there's whatever with the sack. I'm like, no, you're wrong again. And like Al Michaels, that fucking dude's just wasted by halftime. And
I think Al Michaels is just, you talk about somebody who's done. Talk about somebody who's quit. He's like, why I got to work with this guy. I had John Madden in the booth with me for years.
Yeah.
With all of his quirks, John Madden knew what the fuck he was talking about half the time.
I'm going to circle this guy here, and he's going to run this play over here.
Yeah, but I find his son more creepy. He's like a weird clone of his dad, but not quite as good.
Yeah.
I mean, at least John Madden would have done something like, 90% of the time, I know what I'm talking about half the time. And you're like, what the fuck? What was that?
John Madden did love him some Brett Favre, so maybe it's just a Monday Night
did,
Football thing. But
you know what I was upset? What upset me the most was that our boy Mike Schaefer took a picture with Collinsworth after the game and didn't knock that bitch out. Like, Schaefer, I would have fucking bailed you out of jail. We would have had a GoFundMe in the bar room. And we would have fucking had you bailed out and one of the best attorneys to get your assault charges dropped. But you have a big smile on your face, and you're fucking got your arm around,
dude.
Yeah, you got your arm around Chris Collinsworth with a smile on your face. You are the fucking bear down of the week.
He didn't. He just didn't want to go to jail in Green Bay. Would you want to go to jail in that town?
No,
dressed as a bear.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been all other Bears fans in there, so whatever.
That's true.
I mean, you'd been right at home. There would have been somebody.
It looked like the scene out of the Replacements. They'd have been in there doing the damn dances, electric slide, and all that shit. Get me. Get me all in.
Man,
Super Bowl shuffle, huh?
Right.
Yeah, getting after it. I mean, but otherwise, Collinsworth, fuck that dude. I don't even know why he's still on there. Every fucking week he does something stupid. And sometimes I don't even watch. If the Bears aren't playing, I won't even watch because it just irritates me to hear his fucking voice, dude. Like,
I can't stay awake. Last week I watched till halftime, and they came out in the second half. I felt myself going, but I get up at 4:30, so that's late for me. And then I think right after the strip sack, I was like, fuck this, I'm going to bed. I think that's what happened. Like, the Packers scored, then we got the ball, and then the strip sack happened, and I was like, well, here we go. I don't remember if I stayed up to watch the Packers score again right there or not, but I was like, yeah, I'm done. And I fell asleep with the TV on, so when I woke up, we were punting again. I think it was 38-30 or something. I don't know, 38 to something at that point, and I was like, well, I'll just turn this off, save my electric.
I just texted Schaefer and told him I'll give you the beer down of the week for not knocking out Collinsworth after the pitcher. We'll see what he has to say.
So we're gonna start that new segment, the bear down of the week, and
there's no sense in doing it.
That's all we would talk about.
Yeah, you give it to fucking everybody.
You can even it out. You can do a round of applause and a bear down of the week, like maybe this week the round of applause we go to Jakeem Grant for actually playing hard, or
I mean, and we were back.
I don't know if Badge would be able to say anybody because I haven't heard him say one positive thing in about a month and a half. But
you know what? I shit on Jakeem Grant last week. I think it motivated him. So Grant.
But you shit on Eddie Jackson all the time,
That's
and it ain't motivated shit.
I shit on Bojack last week too, and I mean he did have a good hit on Aaron Jones, like I mentioned. But Jakeem Grant, I mean, dude, the guy's a burner. Like get the ball in his hands and he can make plays. Now the knock on him is that he put the ball on the ground. They say that's one of the reasons why he didn't get a fair shake in Miami. They said was because he was putting the ball on the ground. You saw him do it. In his first game here, he fumbled. Now he was able to get back on it, but hey, this kid, looks like a decent acquisition from Pace. Hopefully this continues. I mean,
but how did it take you this fucking long to use him?
Well, right, you usually see it in this offense. So
we got it.
He's used for 1 week, and then you don't see him again.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's not talk about how we use players.
Yeah.
Perfect example, Cordell Patterson. Enough said.
Yeah.
Pro Bowler now.
Yeah, Pro Bowler now. And then Patterson even came out, I want to say it was last week or 2 weeks ago, and he was like, gave a shout out to Bears fans and was like, even with everything that happened there and this and that, and we don't know about the behind the scenes, he's like, the support and love that I got from Bears fans, even after I was off the team, he's like, those fans are some diehard fans that really love the players that come into town and this and that and whatever. And I mean, there was a lot of mixed chatter about him when he was playing. There was people that are like, why the fuck is he touching the ball? Get him the fuck out of there. He shouldn't be running. All right. And there was like a back and forth thing, but dude had Go ahead.
We just didn't know how to use him, man.
Yeah,
like
that's right,
I was saying last year, when we had him, my son was if Cordero Patterson's in the backfield, he's getting the ball. There's never a play where he's a decoy or a play action. They never tried the reverse they just ran with Jakeem Grant. I don't remember them ever trying that with Patterson, or if they did, they didn't have the edge set. I don't know what the issue was. Like, if Patterson's in the game, he was getting the ball 90% of the time. So that's how they misuse the weapon. If you're going to keep him in all the time, you know what I'm saying? Then don't give him the ball every time he's in, because he's a good player, but defensive guys scheme too. You know?
Yeah, I mean, and then shit. Sorry, and then back at the Grant thing. So bad shit on him, right? And then we're like, oh, look at Grant. And then we're like, ooh, and we put the little stock chart, right? Like, ooh, he's slowly rising. And then the next punt, he fucking bobbles the ball, goes backwards, falls on his ass. And we're like, oh, stock's down. And then he comes back fucking with this run. We're like, oh, shit, stock's back up. Like, this dude, the thing's just back and forth and whatever. Like, you can't build any of these kids because the offense has no identity. The offense doesn't have an identity to build a player. And that's,
I mean, that can lead us right into talking
sorry,
about
I don't
Kmet.
mean to laugh,
KB
man,
texted us and was talking about, you know, is Kmet not a good player, or they just don't know how to use him? And every time I see Kmet, he's doing a 4-yard curl route. Like, get this dude going down the seam and put the ball up. I don't understand how you don't have that in your offense.
Yeah, let me chime in with this, because I get on Twitter. You know, something I do.
Full screen this motherfucker. Full screen this mother. There you go.
I look so pretty. I look so pretty.
Okay, take him off on full screen now.
Okay. But yeah, I get on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? As I do so casually. Come across this post. Guy comes out and pretty much says that Cole Kmet is a bust. You know what? I feel that's a little unfair. I get in, I read some of the comments. There's a couple people get in there and make valid comments, and you know how Twitter is. Some people get in there and they're just stupid. But his case for it was, well, he doesn't have the athleticism. Athleticism? Yeah, that's how you say that. Okay, gotcha. As a Mark Andrews or something like a Travis Kelce, so he'll never amount to anything type deal. I said, I don't think that's true. You look at the combine results, they're all pretty fucking similar, except Travis Kelce's, because he was hurt for the combine and he was sick for the pro day. But him and Kmet and Mark Andrews pro days were pretty fucking similar. And Kmet out-jumped him by a country mile. I said, he has the body type to be amazing. We don't use him. We don't run him down the seams. We don't do anything. All he does is block where he does a curl route. I said it's scheme. If you put that man in the Baltimore Ravens offense or the 49ers offense or the fucking the Chiefs offense, you would see production out of them because they know how to use them. So, and that's what I was coming down to. It comes down to the scheme that the players are in. That's just like anytime you can say anybody in Chicago's a bust, but they go to other places and then everybody we see go to different teams always fucking produce damn near instantly. Yeah. One of the biggest ones to me was always Cedric Benson. I won't say I hated him because I just love Thomas Jones, but I was not a fan of Cedric Benson when he was in Chicago.
Yeah, my hate for Cedric Benson comes from Thomas Jones not getting the ball anymore. That's where it comes from.
We drafted him when we didn't need him. And guess who was on the board? That guy up north who's been terrorizing us for the last 2 decades.
Yeah.
But perfect case in point, he goes to Cincinnati and he's a fucking stud in Cincinnati. It's like, bro, what is this? You know what I'm saying? You can
use
pick,
them right.
You can pick and pluck different players through the Bears' history who come here and have just been trashed and they go to other places. Like you said, Leonard Floyd, double-digit fucking sacks.
Yeah.
What are we doing, dog? It's just Chicago, man.
Well, I was with you with the 49ers, the Ravens, especially the Mark Andrews comp. I can see that a lot.
Yeah.
Ron Rubnow is asking, well, why does he drop so many balls? Because when you run a 4-yard curl route and you've got a linebacker and a safety on you trying to make the catch, how? Please tell me how, Ron. I don't care how bad you are. I don't care if you're Travis Kelce, George Kittle. I don't give a fuck who you are. If you're getting hit as the ball's touching your hands, you're not going to catch the damn thing.
Yeah, I mean,
4-yard curl route.
Granted, there's
sitting on the route.
Like there is a few that Kmet's dropped that's hit him in the hands, but there's some that everybody's dropped. The problem is the reason we remember the drops from Kmet is because it's 3rd and fucking 7, and it's a 6-yard fucking curl route that he drops. You know what I mean?
You don't go 6 yards deep on a 3rd and 7.
And we're 5. Just like, we're like,
you better break a tackle, bud, or you ain't getting the first.
Yeah, good luck, bitch. And that's kind of how it goes. And I think, KB's spot on with it. I think the scheme definitely is against all these players. There isn't a fucking scheme. And I said it earlier. There isn't a scheme. It's like, hey, what do you guys want to do? I don't know. Let's fucking go try to trick them. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. Like, fuck, Wildcat. I don't know what to do. Fucking David, you figure out what to do. I don't know what to do. And it's like, it's just fucking shit, man. It's a straight shit show. We've been through this before. It happens. We've been saying this for years. There is no build in this team. There's no building the offense. There's no nothing. It's just complete shit. And how it hasn't been stopped yet, I don't fucking know. And if you got one of the most, maybe, I mean, I'll say it, I don't know if it's true, but if you got one of the most questionable offensive lines in the NFL, then maybe you should be running a 2 tight end set, a 3 tight end set, and bringing fucking dudes in. And then, oh God, you got this guy who rushed for 1,000 yards last year, plus 1,000 yards, was like a top 3 back in the league. You got problems with your offensive line and their strength is to run, then cool. Fucking Montgomery, behind Jenkins, whoever, Montgomery, 3 tight ends, just go. And then, you got this play action. And now you got fucking Fields moving around. Now his feet are ready. His fucking tight end's open. His whatever. You got all that.
It goes back to what you said, Bobby. Right?
You could
when
simplify
you first started talking about this.
Yeah.
We don't have we've been talking about identity with this offense for 4 fucking years.
Exactly.
Every year we're fucking 15 weeks into it, and we're still trying to figure out what the fucking identity is when the identity has been David Montgomery this whole fucking time. It's been run the football. Use the run game to affect your pass game. And these fucking dipshits just don't fucking do it.
The problem, because Nagy wants to be flashy and air out the fucking ball. He doesn't realize that you can be flashy with fucking W's. You can put wins on the fucking board and be flashy as fuck. You can be flashy with airing out the ball when you've run the ball fucking 19 times and now everybody's up in the box and you're fucking launching it. It's like with fucking John Fox, we had fucking 12 people in the fucking box. They threw everybody in there, and he was still like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna run. Right. And now with Nagy, you're like, oh, there's fucking one person in the box. I'm gonna fucking pass. I'm just like the complete fucking
5 fools in the zone, Justin.
You better figure it out. But I want to see a drop in the bucket, motherfucker. I want to see a drop in the bucket, but I want you to put the drop in the bucket on a curl route.
And that bucket's only 4 yards away, but you better drop it in that bitch.
It's fucking ridiculous.
All right, we're going to take a little quick break here, and we'll come back right after these messages.
Fuck.
Look, I don't mean any disrespect. He just didn't play that well, not for a guy of his caliber.
If they don't run the ball here, I'm going to vomit. I swear to God.
I don't really have any recollection of that at all, but I guess perhaps I blacked it all out.
They won, but I'm going to be miserable all week because they stunk.
The Barroom Network presents two fired up Bears fans. They are ready to rumble on the Bear Debate.
And we're still here and still losing, and we got nothing to fucking talk about, but here we go. You know, I know we were getting on the run game and trying to scheme our own offense, and I get James in there. Like, I don't understand why you're trying to judge a head coach who has no idea what he's doing. I mean, isn't that why you judge a head coach, James? Because he has no idea what he's doing. Like,
he should have a little bit figured out by now. I mean, he's been there 4 years. I understood the first or second year he was learning.
No, you didn't. You don't understand his offense till 3 years, AC.
That's
That's
true.
what I did. That's all he is.
But I mean, while we're on the topic of offenses, I kind of found my way into Bill's Twitter because Daboll is a big name that a lot of Bears fans want here. And everything that I read was A, he's terrible in the red zone. We've already got that. And B, he abandons the run game. Josh Allen makes that guy look a lot better than he is when he takes off and runs and stuff.
I could believe that,
So,
definitely.
if you guys are fans of Daboll, you should look into it because we're all pissed off that we're abandoning the run now, and he does the same damn thing. And I feel like Greg Roman may do it too.
You think Greg Roman will abandon the run?
Lamar Jackson in Baltimore is doing exactly what he did in Louisville. Here's the ball, Lamar, go make a play. That's exactly what he did in Louisville. And he won a Heisman there. Good for him. But that's not going to win championships in the NFL. And I don't think Greg Roman is the guy either.
I don't. So my only thing with Roman was the read option type deals, right? Like, you got a lot with Lamar that is, it depends on what the offensive line is doing. If they're crashing in, then he's fucking keeping it and he's running outside. If you can see when the defense keys on Lamar, there's a lot more running back plays in those games. You know what I mean? When they try to contain him or keep him inside. So I mean, maybe he does give up on the run. Maybe it is more of a do what you feel, but I think that's still the basis of he doesn't want, or he wants to keep the ball on the ground style than it is fucking air it out style and let's try to be all flashy and fucking put up 400 passing yards. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that. If we want a head coach that runs the ball first, I think KB was onto something with Tomlin, and I'd love to get a guy from San Francisco out of that offense, but I don't know who's the next guy. You know, Robert Saleh got a job last year from San Francisco because of the defense, but and I kind of looked at their coaching staff. I didn't really see, like, there was their offensive coordinator was something McDonald or McDaniel or something. He looked like he was about 22 years old. So I was like, I don't think so.
He's the next best thing. Fuck it, let's start it. He's the next best thing. He's young and he's a powerful fucking mind.
Hey man, Matt LaFleur went to on a coffee date with McVay, man, and he got the Packers job.
That only works. That only works up there. That only works up there. We don't get that shit to work here.
Hell, we need somebody that went to the strip club with Shanahan or something. Shit, I need an offense. Goddamn it!
I think the 49ers are. You talk about a scary playoff team that I don't think anybody really wants to see. I think the Niners are that, to be honest.
Damn. I mean, I don't know, but I'm just saying we're not.
Oh,
so,
obviously.
yeah.
Without
Yeah, this is a
question.
Bears podcast, and we talk about other teams.
Did I just
Two
no?
of us are wearing other
You-
Chicago teams on our head. God
As
damn
you
it.
should be.
I'm
Yeah.
done.
Well, let's talk about the Sox and Bulls then. Let's go.
Yeah, the Bull Sox. Fuck it. KB's like, fuck you guys, I'm out. I just think, damn, and I know I've said it before, but solidify the GM, make this his fucking thing, and you got to get rid of the fucking top, man, the top down.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys heard. I think it was on Hogan Johns, maybe it was on Under Center or No Name Podcast, but Olin Kreutz and basically came out and said the whole culture of this organization has been fucked for years.
Yeah.
That it's from the fucking cafeteria to the locker room to the media room to the people to everything involved, the weight room, that the whole culture of the organization is horrible, and that Lovie Smith held it together for however many years, whatever, right? And was able to hide a lot of the shit that was going on behind the scenes. But then when Lovie started, and he didn't say this, but this is my belief, when Lovie started speaking up and interfering even more, they decided that he would be best somewhere else and to get rid of him. I think this whole organization just needs to be fucking bombed, man. Like, just get rid of them all. Just go through and fire fucking everyone. And I don't know how it definitely doesn't play into fucking Nagy, right? Because we know Nagy sucks. I don't know how much control the organization has had over Ryan Pace, and what happens or what doesn't happen, and this and that, because they've already said that. I don't believe that Pace is a like speaks up or goes against the grain often enough, because they've already said Pace won't get fired. Pace will get moved up to a higher fucking position in this organization. Well, we don't need that. I don't mean, like, fuck, if he's goes with the organization and believes in what they're doing, then get rid of his fucking ass too. Like, out the fucking door. Don't move him up higher. We're not trying to spread this shit and keep it going. Like, generation after generation, this thing has been fucked. Get rid of them all and let the GM come in and decide who's going to be fucking what and go from there. Rebuild this fucking team. And then as for players, I don't even care. Like, keep Roquan, keep Jalen, keep David, keep fucking Fields. Shit can everybody else. I don't even give a fuck, man. I don't care anymore. Like,
I think James Foster's right on here when he says we need a real president of football operations first and foremost, because the guys that we have making the decisions, Ryan Pace and Nagy are their football guys, so they say. But Ryan Pace has missed in the draft continuously, made up for that with overpaying in free agency. So now we are in salary cap hell, and we don't have draft picks to make up for the lack of talent on this football team. Next year we have, I think, 22 guys under contract. We have quite a bit of salary cap space, but you've got a lot of holes to fill and only 5 draft picks with which to fill said holes. So you're going to have to talk free agents into coming here somehow, some way. Justin Fields could help with that. You know, maybe you re-sign Roquan. You have to re-sign Roquan. Maybe he can. I mean, I don't know. I just, you got to reset it from the top down. And it's going to be a rebuild, and it sucks, but you got to just rip the Band-Aid off, man. You can't just bullshit your way through it anymore.
Yeah, totally agree, man. I mean, that's why I said I would have fucking blown it up already, and just started kicking.
Guy, I mean,
kicking
you
people
got to
out.
collaborate, guys. You have to collaborate with, the other owners of the NFL, like George says they do, and talking to the other executives. To me, that in itself, I get there's some sharing and so on and so forth. And, you may reach out to someone that you're close with, but just because it works one way in one organization doesn't mean it's going to work for you.
Yeah.
And if you're not the people to decide that, then that's where you need to get somebody in here that knows what the hell they're talking about. And until they do that, it isn't going to matter. If Ted Phillips steps back and Ryan Pace moves up, nothing changes. Nothing fucking changes. Because, he's going to go out and fucking hire Louis Riddick. Which, fucking great. Oh, awesome. Bobby, I know we talked about that too the other night. You were saying how, you liked him and you wouldn't mind him here. And I was like, man, once he stood up for Nagy after that Cleveland game, it just ruined him for me. Like that to me just says that he's more about he would hold the coach over the player. And to me, it's even playing field. And if he set the player up to fail, which he did, that should have been it.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think that he's more of that he'll come in as more of a no nonsense fucking guy and do his own style. He won't come in and be told what his style is. He'll come in and have his own style. That's why I'm just looking for somebody who is not a yes man. I'm looking for somebody who's not gonna fucking, be given a job and then be told what to do. You hired me because you like what I brought to the table. You didn't hire me because I'm going to agree with everything you say and do what you want me, like everything you want me to do. And I think that's the fucking issue year after year after year. We're hiring guys who will conform to what the organization wants them to do. So it doesn't matter if they're a bright young mind or if they're the fucking genius of this or that. If you just let them fucking do what they're supposed to do and stop trying to fucking conform them to what the organization wants them to do, I think it's already a change for the positive.
Well, and I wonder if some of those comments, Badge, were the fact that it was Fields' first game. Lewis is going to probably stay on the side of experience, and Nagy at the time had more experience in the NFL, so I don't know. Maybe that's.
I just think. I mean, even on the comments,
something like that.
Even on the comments, dude, we all have bad takes. We've all said stupid shit, right? And who knows what brought him to say that for that one? But there's been a lot of good takes, and there's been a lot of times, even a couple of weeks prior to that, or since then, where they're like, those dudes are like, "Yo, this guy is fucking lost. He has no clue what he's doing." You know what I mean? So maybe they took it back, maybe they didn't, but everybody's got bad takes here and there and whatever, man. I mean, I just think, I don't know. I think
the bottom line, we need football guys in the building. The football guys we have now, you've got Nagy who has no clue what he's doing still. And you got Ryan Pace, who is clearly a finance guy. His biggest thing was the fact that he was able to oversee the overhaul of Hallis Hall, which was long overdue, and that may be the reason why he's stuck around. Is so when we make the move to Arlington Heights, they liked what he did at Hallis, and they're going to stick him around for Arlington Heights. I have no idea, but
I mean, no matter what, if you're in the chat and you disagree, but no matter what. I think next year is a whole fucking start over in the beginning of a rebuild. Hands down, I believe. I mean, does anybody think that, like, it's not? That somehow we're not in a fucking complete rebuild next year?
I completely agree with you, Bobby. I completely agree. I mean, I think a lot to do with it is because it's a family-run business. The owners, the owner, it's like a family thing, and we mentioned this last week. But I just don't think there's like any sort of position which is sort of, people are scared that they're just going to get taken higher up the ladder. And I just think people are just sort of too comfy, and it's sort of, everybody's taking it too easy, and there doesn't seem to be any sort of rush to improve. We seem to be quite happy to accept mediocrity as a rule. And I think that's just completely wrong, especially for the fans who are buying everything, Once you're a fan of a club, you're usually going to be with that club for the rest of your life. So they know once they've got you, that's it, they've got you. And I just don't think they realise that, another season's gone. That's another season gone, what we've been fans of, and we've not got a return from the club we support. And I just don't feel any urgency with the owners of the club. And I think that's a big problem.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I totally agree with you, man. I think the main thing, like you're saying, Chris, I think it's the comfortability.
Yeah.
Everybody's so fucking comfortable in what they're doing that it's just good enough. Or I've been doing this for years and I haven't been fired, so let me keep doing this. Right.
Yeah.
And nothing ever fucking changes. Nothing ever changes. People are like, 9 to 5, whatever it is. Like, I ain't trying to build this place up, but I'm not trying to get fired either. So let me just fucking do what I'm doing and stay here. Right. And if you're not trying to build or you're not trying to be better, like, the fuck, man, you're just going to be mediocre forever. And that's just how it is. Like, I get it. Sometimes you got to take risk and you got to do this and that and whatever, but there should be constant fucking goals and constant improvements being made. And yet we're just on a treadmill. Like, we went 25 miles, but we really didn't move. Like, we're still sitting right fucking here. And I think that's the main issue, man, is like you said, it's just like, we're just stuck. I don't know what Laz disagreed with. I talked for like fucking 5 minutes straight. Laz, tell me what you disagree with, dude, and we'll figure it out. But
he disagreed. If I'm reading it correctly, he disagreed with when I said that we should have a president of football operations to bring in. He feels like that's another layer. I think what his exact words was, that's another layer of bullshit. That if you have a good GM, you don't really need that, which some people have said that as well. But I just feel like we don't have the people in place up top that are football guys to trick the a trickle down effect. If you got the wrong pieces at the top, the people under them aren't going to be worth a damn either.
For me, I think it all goes back to how much authority do you give your GM? If it depends on the authority level that you're giving people, because sometimes you see GMs who are president of football operations. Sometimes you don't, right? But I don't mind another barrier of, whoa, slow the fuck down. Why are you taking this guy again? Instead of like, hey, this is what we're doing and this is who I'm taking. Depending on how much authority you're giving somebody. If you're just putting them in a title as president of football operations, but then you hire a GM and you give him total control of everything, then yeah. It's just another layer of bullshit. Just another dude getting paid for no fucking reason. But whatever. Either way, as long as they're fucking gone, as long as the shit changes, like, I'm okay. Like, if you keep the same dude that's been there for fucking 8 years, and you're like, nope, we believe in these dudes. Like, fuck you. Your fucking probationary period is over, and you suck. Get the fuck out. Like, that's kind of where I'm at with it.
I just think I think the whole fucking thing needs to be blown up, and I really think as a board, the board of directors really need to look into keeping George McCaskey in the spot that he's in, because to me it should go to that point. They clearly don't have someone smart enough to handle the football side of the business in position there. That's what they first need to correct. I don't know if you can do that, how all that works, but then from there, Ted, rumors trickling out that he wants to separate himself from the football. He fucking shouldn't have been a part of it in the first place.
Yeah.
In my opinion, if he's a money guy, then get him away from anything football.
Yeah, agreed.
And then Ryan, he's had some hits, a lot of misses. There's times where I thought he should be here, times there I thought he shouldn't. He's just got to go, because this whole thing, it's been him and Nagy. Nagy was his guy. It's not working. It needs to all be completely brand new.
Yeah, he's had, good moves, bad moves. What does kind of worry me is the hires and most, other than Trubisky, most of the draft picks that he grabbed were the consensus got. Like when he hired Nagy was the hot name. When Pace got hired, he was the hot name that a lot of people were looking for GMs, because
it was between him and Ballard, right?
Right.
Those were the two big names on the market that year. Go ahead.
Yeah, and the same thing with the head coach. We went with Nagy, and the Colts went with Frank Reich, who has worked out for them. But
Better coaching.
it's not like we just grabbed some random dude, which is kind of what worries me. And I think Badge is absolutely right. You got to blow it up from the top down. I don't know about kicking George McCaskey out of his position because I've met George, and the couple
me
times
too.
that I've met him, he is a fan first. Like if anyone wants this team to win, it's him. He grew up around this team. He grew up cheering for this team. Actually, when I met him in Cincinnati, a buddy of mine who came, myself and Chris and Lee was with us. He's a Packers fan, and he was the one taking the picture of myself and George. I think it's in the intro there. And George goes, this guy know how to work this camera because he had a Packers hat on or something like that. And so I like George. It sucks that it hasn't worked out for him like the way we all wanted it to. But if anybody wants it to change, it's him.
I like George too, but you would think being around the game as long as he has, he would fucking know something. I mean,
Well,
they
hell,
missed.
I've been around my car for 16 years, and I couldn't tell you what the fucking mechanic's going to do to fix it. So just being around it doesn't mean you know what you're doing. But I don't mind him being in his position, but he needs to get it right under him, in my opinion.
And so you don't feel he's had enough chances.
I think.
To this
I
point.
think. Look, this is my deal with George McCaskey. I don't think he really does. I don't think he's a decision maker up there. I think he has input and he has a value to input, right? But I think the dude's got a big fucking heart, and that's his problem. He's not a fucking businessman.
That's
he
true.
He loves this team, and he's got a big fucking heart, and he's not the businessman type guy to be like, "Hey, you're fucking fired. Get your shit.
True.
Like, get out."
But based on that end of season presser last year, you don't feel like he spoke for a majority of the press conference. That says to me he's a decision maker.
I think he has a decision input. I don't think he has final say so. I think there's still a lot of undercover shit that goes on in this bitch, and I don't know. That's just me, though. I mean, and I met him, and KB, I think you met him the same day I did when we were at that game together. Badge,
I met him before, too.
Yeah, I think you met him, and that's what I think. The dude's just, I think he's just a nice dude. That's the fucking problem. He's not a businessman. He's a fucking silver spoon, fucking given to him. This is how the operation runs, and then he's like, "Oh, hey, Badge, me and you have been friends for a long time." Like, I'm sorry you suck at your job right now, but I'm hoping you get better, bud. Have a good one today. Like, what the fuck, man? Like,
and that goes back to what Chris was saying with it being a family diner type run organization. You know, bring in cousin Eddie because he's struggling and he needs to let him wash the dishes, you know, or whatever.
Yeah.
But
would the ideal situation be then? Would you want the Bears to be sold? Would that be the ideal solution?
I don't think the Bears will be sold until Virginia passes away.
Right.
Right. And me personally, with the whole Jeff Bezos thing, I mean, I know the guy's a scumbag for whatever reason. But
for whatever reason.
But I mean, if the man came and made a bid for the Bears to actually pay him and buy him out, so fucking be it, dog. Like, let's just move on. Yeah. With him, you know what I'm saying? I kind of got the idea. Okay, I bought the team. Okay, now let me go find the best fucking person I can find to oversee this shit, so we can actually get a name to it.
Like the Cubs and the Bulls did. They both did that.
Like I said before,
I don't think they sold, but they brought in people that knew what the fuck they were talking about.
Right. And like I said, there's an interesting prospect of saying, oh, I got this young rookie quarterback. Chicago just secured the Arlington property. I can build a fantastic fucking stadium and then influence everything around it because the area is so big.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell me that people who have the money to do so don't look at that and say, this is an intriguing fucking prospect. I can make plenty of money off of this shit.
They could build a Wrigleyville.
I'm going to take that one step further, KB, and I'm going to say that is being done because whoever wants to buy this team already has that in the works, and these are just the steps to getting there.
Yeah,
I mean,
so like I
if
said,
it was,
I wouldn't be
if
mad
it
if,
was,
if they did sell it.
if it was just about the money and they didn't care whether we won or lost, this team would have already been sold. A lot of people that come online and say the Bears front office, none of them, they don't give a shit as long as they're just sitting back and counting their money. If that were the case, they would have already sold this team. And I think they're going to build their own little Wrigleyville up there in Arlington Heights. They'll have bars around it. They'll have casinos around it.
100%.
They'll have, and they've went to Vegas this year. They've went to LA this year. They
throw a dome on that
Minnesota
bitch,
every
it's a
year.
Super Bowl.
Exactly. Yeah, you throw a dome on it. You got Big
Olympics.
Ten championships. You got
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl, yeah.
Yeah, you got everything. You throw a dome on that bitch, you got fucking concerts. You got the Chicago Park District now has nothing to fucking do with the field or anything. You got a whole different dynamic. And I mean, with this, we're talking like 6 years away, but Badge, you might be onto something. Maybe the move was made because they were looking at, under fucking with just on the side selling it. And somebody was like, hey, I'll buy it, but you need to do this, and this first. Like,
well, maybe that's something they talked to, like you were talking about. They went around the league and talked to the Steelers owners and other owners that own their team and own their stadium, and they were like, dude, you were losing so much money by Chicago owning your stadium. Maybe that was one of the things they told them, and they were like, as soon as you can find a place to build your own thing and make your own money, do it immediately, because that will double your what your team's
total
worth.
value. Yeah, man. It's gonna be fucking crazy. I mean, and I agree with James. I mean, it's gonna just fucking skyrocket, man. With James Foster, what did Chris say? Why would you sell something that makes you guarantee money every year? Yeah,
less stress.
Knows, man?
You want to talk about sitting back and just counting money? You had no stress if you sold this team for $4.5 billion.
Dr. King Schultz from fucking Django said it best. You might not want to sell it, but if I offer you such an amount that is so fucking crazy that it makes you consider it, how do you say no?
I mean, if that was the case, I mean, even with Christo, if that was the case, man, no team would ever be sold. You know what I mean? It's just sometimes people are done with the headache and they're done with this and that. And for $4.5 billion, I can do nothing forever, or I can go fucking like invest it somewhere else and build something else or whatever, man. A lot of these people that are part of this team now, well, almost all of them inherited this. Their jobs were inherited. All this was inherited. Who knows if this is what they wanted to do? This is kind of what they have to do now at this point, because they've kept it, like Chris said, in the family and kept running. So at some point, you don't want your father's fucking job anymore. You don't want to continue on the same fucking path. And who knows, man? Maybe it's possible. Maybe it's not. Maybe, I mean, I don't know. But I think Arlington is a great fucking move. And I don't give a fuck that it's not in Chicago. I don't care about any of that. Like,
no, at all.
Half the teams in the league don't play in their city that they claim.
Listen, Soldier Field has a certain aesthetic to it, but everybody's been to Soldier Field. Soldier Field's a piece of shit. I'm sorry. It is a piece of fucking shit. It's one of the oldest, if it's not the oldest stadium right now.
It's the smallest stadium in the league.
And then the other part of it is, dude, the fucking location is terrible. I don't know, bro. It is a fucking headache trying to get into Soldier Field, especially coming right off of fucking damn, I forgot the name of it. Lakeshore. It's a fucking pain in the ass. Because first of all, Chicago drivers are fucking crazy. They don't give a shit about you, your kids, the hurt dog in the middle of the street. They don't give no fucks, bro. They will hit you. They don't care. So, location-wise, bro, it's a hassle to get into. It's a small venue for 2. For 3, like I said, you can make your organization a shit ton of money if you move to a bigger spot, more accessibility to it, and then you put a dome on the fucking stadium. Money.
Yeah, definitely.
If they did build it with a dome, would you want the dome to be open for the Bears game still?
Retractable, I think, would be that'd be what I would go with.
I'd take the fucking snow, and once it starts snowing, close the fucking dome. I don't care. We're not even a fucking damn, bear weather. Like, what? Who fucking gives a shit, man? Like, fuck that. Like, I've been to hundreds of games that are fucking bear weather, and I got a bottle of Rumplemints in my fucking jacket with a straw, and I'm fucking like, fuck, it's fucking cold out here, man, and people don't go. Like, people start to leave and whatever. Like. At this point, who gives a fuck? There's like, whatever. I mean, I don't care. Make that bitch 74 all the time and let's roll. Like, whatever. I seen James here. Which big market teams have been sold? I mean, since the 2000s, there's probably been like 12 teams sold. I know the Jets were sold, the Bills were sold, the Panthers were sold.
Last year.
The Broncos are about to be sold, I think. The Broncos are the next one talking about selling. Big market. I mean, I don't know, but either way, there's a lot of teams.
Jets. I mean, that's a New York team.
Yeah, the Jets were. I want to say the Jets were sold in like early 2000s. I mean, the Rams, even though they were the Cardinals, or they not the fucking. Even though they were the St. Louis Rams at the time, but they were sold in like 2011 or 12. And then with all intentions of moving to LA.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of teams that have been sold. I don't know, man. I guess even though, and then other like outside the NFL, I mean, the fucking Rockets, Houston was sold, even though they sold for less than what Dre sold his headphones for. But either way, I mean, they were sold too. So I don't think selling is outside of I don't think it's something that's not being looked at. The Denver Broncos just a couple days ago have like a couple banks that are trying to buy the Broncos.
Banks?
Yeah, I want to say it's like 3 different banks or 3 fucking bank presidents are coming together to try to fucking buy the Broncos. I forget what the whole story was, but something along those lines. I don't think it's not something that isn't going to happen. And even now, like, depending on what your belief is in the future, right? COVID's fucking ramping back up again. We see teams that are games are being postponed. I mean, we got 2 games moved to, there's going to be 2 games Monday night now because games are postponed. There's teams. Tuesday. Yeah, there's teams, the Bulls, who had fucking 9 days off, and Badge corrected me the other night while we were talking on the phone, but they missed 2 games, had 9 days off because of postponement. And depending who you are as an owner or where you sit or what your comfortability level is with COVID, maybe you're like, you know what? Fuck it. Sell this bitch. What if this fucking shit goes crazy again and we can't have fucking people in the stands next year? Because owners last year took a fucking hit, dude. Like they lost a lot of money last year, no matter what.
I think Mike Schaefer said that, during the offseason that could be possibly why Nagy wasn't gone last year. They didn't want to pay. Are they still paying John Fox? I don't know, but they didn't want to be paying Matt Nagy and a new head coach while they lost all that money last year. And it sucks for us as fans because we want to see a winning ball team, and the only way to win is to change. But that could be a reason why Nagy is still our head coach. It makes him a lame duck coach. But
let's run. Fuck, sorry, I'm dying from the whole COVID talk. Let's run down this fucking rabbit hole real quick. Torian, Mike Florio says the NFL wants an AFC team in Chicago. What happens if the Bears get Arlington? It's all built, 5 years. The Bears moved to Arlington. Do we get an expansion team in Soldiers, or does an AFC team come along and move to Soldiers? Do we become a 2-city team?
I do that in Madden all the time, baby. It's usually the Cincinnati Bengals that I'm like, you know what? Yeah, let's move y'all to Chicago.
I'm telling you now, the Bengals are not leaving Cincinnati. Especially now that they're winning.
Oh, yeah. Now that they're winning, yeah. You better chance with the Browns.
Yeah.
I mean,
they've already moved once.
I can't even imagine Chicago had another football team. It'd be so weird. And how would I don't know, how would they attract fans? What I mean, unless it's like a team what's moved from a different location to Chicago, and like the Rams did back when they went back to LA. But I just can't imagine it. I can't imagine. It's like where I'm from, Leeds. Our main soccer team, Leeds United, we just have one club for the whole city. And I can't imagine, us having two professional football clubs. It'd be very, very weird. And I just can't imagine it happening in Chicago at all.
Go ahead.
I don't even know. Like, if it was an expansion team, like Chris was saying, I don't know how you would get fans in there. I mean, it's an old stadium. The last time it was updated was 2002. Is Chicago going to renovate it again before if they bring in another team, or are they just going to be like,
all the iron's hot, fellas? You're not telling me that if you're a Bears fan and the organization's been around for 102 years now, and for the last fucking 37, 8, 9 of it, they've sucked ass and haven't done shit. You wouldn't take that as an opportunity to Chicagoan to jump on the bandwagon of a new
I definitely would. Don't play me.
Dude, what if city is part of the NFL?
Dude, what if that's
Jesus Christ, you've been through fucking hell and back.
Dude, what if that's a shot
like that?
Yeah, what if that's a shot to the McCaskey family? The Chicago gets an AFC team and they call it the Chicago Staleys. Because the fucking McCaskies moved and they name it the Staleys. And they're just like, whatever. I mean, that's going to generate some buzz. Like, people are going to want, like, whatever. They're going to it's going to generate a rivalry, even though it's an AFC and NFC
definitely
team.
Be a rivalry game.
Yeah, but, I mean, playing dirty. I like James's idea there with bring the Cards back to Chicago and make them an AFC. But I don't know if their market, they're pretty big.
Built.
They're pretty fucking big up there. Yeah. They're sustainable.
You talk about a new stadium and all that.
Yeah. I mean, that's a beautiful fucking stadium too. But
be a perfect time, bro. Buy the Jaguars out. They
want to go. They want to go to London.
Right. They're trying to
go to London and be
them now.
Well, speaking of that, adding London in there, and Chris, I know we got you on, so this is perfect for you. But the Bears last week were just granted Spain and the UK as their international markets.
Oh yeah,
I saw that. Yeah, I saw it this week, and that makes me quite happy. But yeah, I mean, I think with the international series, they're on about playing some games in Germany as well, which is actually American football is actually more popular in Germany than it is over here. Their domestic league is at quite a high level. I think a few of the domestic players from Germany have actually got into the NFL. I think that's just down to having a lot of the army bases there from after World War II. But I'm quite happy with that. I mean, I don't really know what it's going to happen or what is it involved. I don't know if it means the Bears are going to play more games over in the UK. I'm quite happy with it. I don't know if it actually means anything, but I'm quite happy.
Yeah. So I was looking into it too, and basically they're going to be marketed more and more, like more NFL spots and more like just kind of pushing, but they're going to be marketing the Bears like you were in Chicago. Kind of like they would, and it would be England, Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and Spain is the Bears market. So the NFL will basically help the Bears market to those areas, and then there's other teams that were assigned other places, and it's basically just trying to, international, like make everything international. And there's like if the Bears were considered a home team at an away game. Or not an away game, but at an international game, an overseas game, then they would play in one of those places to their hometown fans, basically. Which is cool. I like it. I think it's fucking cool. I think it's like, there's a lot of fans. There's a lot of great fucking people. There's a lot of fans, Chris, and I mean, George, and there's a bunch of people that we've talked to, Brummy, that are all like, they're overseas fans, but whatever, their fandom is no different than ours, and I think it's great.
Yeah, I mean, I think, but especially the fans over in this country, a lot of the Chicago Bears fans are the people who first got into the NFL when it first came over in the 80s. So I think that's probably why they picked the UK as one of the regions they want to really push, because a lot of fans who have been fans like me for 30 plus years. Ever since the mid-80s. And I do remember when the Bears first played an international game at Wembley. And I got quite emotional. And you know, as English, we stiff upper lips, so we don't really get emotional that much. But it was just that moment when I think it was 14 run onto the pitch before the game. They ran onto the pitch with a Union Jack flag and all the players coming after. And I actually got quite emotional, man. You know what I mean? Because like when I was like in my teens, I couldn't imagine that happening at all. You know, that was like so far away from when I thought we'd ever get NFL football over here. So I did get quite emotional for the change. You know what I mean? We don't usually get emotional over here, but I did do in that instance.
Yeah, definitely. I kind of pulled it up as you were talking there. So it's basically the Bears have been awarded Spain and the UK for international markets where they'll be allowed to engage with fans and sell sponsorship rights. Right. And I don't know what so how's it go for you? Do you need NFL ticket to watch games?
Well, basically the main way I watched is like the main sort of satellite programmer is Sky TV. And they actually have in their sports package, they actually have an NFL channel. So basically we get 3 games on Sunday. That's including the Sunday night game. We get the Monday night game and then the Thursday night game as well. And then we get all the playoffs and all that. So that's where a lot of people have been watching the football through. And then obviously you can get the Game Pass, the NFL Game Pass to watch it. But the only time I've seen the Bears this year on Sky is when they've been, the national stage games like the Sunday night games and Monday night games. So it's been far and few. Even though we've been losing, it's just been a bit hard going sometimes.
Well, if this is correct, and I mean I don't know that it is, but if this is correct, then the Bears will be your home market. So you'll get every game. You'll have the Bears games because they will be televised there, and that will be those areas that we mentioned before. Will be their home market. So it'll be like you're sitting in Chicago and that's the game you're getting every week. That's your area and that's the team that you're getting. So congrats to you because I don't even fucking get that. I'm in North Carolina and I gotta pay to fucking watch them.
Sorry, Bobby.
Every year I'm in a fight with fucking NFL ticket. Like fuck you. I've been purchasing this shit for 16 years. I want it free this year. They're like, hey, I'm like, cool, I'm out. And they're like, okay, here, we'll give it to you for free.
Because Bobby, you've been to a game this year, haven't you? At Soldiers Field.
Yeah.
So
I went to Halloween game.
Like?
At that point, I would say that it was still the wheels hadn't totally fell off yet. Right. I would say there was it was a lot of fun. People were still excited into it. Yeah, and into it. And granted, it was maybe roughly a month and a half ago now, but Fields had a great fucking game. Mm-hmm. And even afterwards, there was a lot of like, wow, that was Fields. I think he had over 100 yards rushing. He had maybe 200 yards passing, 220 yards passing that game. So there was a lot of a lot of.
Was that the Steelers game?
It was the Niners game.
The Niners game, okay.
Yeah, so there was a lot of excitement and a lot of pumped up fans. Nobody left early. That came down to the drives at the end, and I really, even afterwards, like the prior tailgates, when I was with Schaefer and Caesar. I don't know if I haven't seen Caesar in the chat today, but Caesar was with him tailgating and Greg Braggs. We were all hanging out before the game. There was a lot of fun in the parking lots. You still got people saying fire Nagy, but whatever, right? It happens. And then the atmosphere at the game and post game was great, man.
Great.
But I think that's going to be a lot different this week. I honestly do, because now the wheels have kind of fell off. So who fucking knows how it's going to be now?
Yeah, I mean, the ownership could have changed that atmosphere if they would have. I mean, imagine how many people who are season ticket holders who want to see Nagy gone. If Nagy had been fired, in Green Bay, how many of those fans would be like, I wasn't going to go, but I'll go now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like we finally see change. I want to go see what we look like with someone else in charge. But they, of course, sat on their hands. Now, I think the last 2 weeks of the season, you can start interviewing other coaches from other teams. So maybe after the Seattle game is when we'll see Nagy actually gone. But
yeah, And we're gonna start wrapping it up here in a few minutes, but we didn't really get into the Minnesota game today, and I don't really feel a need to. I think it's gonna be the same shit we talked about every week. The same. I think we had better conversations today about other shit than talking about how we're gonna fuck up against Minnesota and whatever. It seems like the same shit over and over again. So, I mean, whatever. I think we're gonna fucking lose in fucking, either late in the fourth quarter, or we're gonna get the fucking break speed off of us. And that's really just how it goes. I'm gonna kick it around the room. We'll do shout outs. We'll do I don't even want to do game predictions. Like, fuck, you can tell me if you really feel like it, but whatever. I'm going with a loss and embarrassment on primetime. Primetime fucking Kurt is going to destroy us because, Sunday Kirk is good, but primetime Kurt is going to beat our ass and fucking whatever. Let's start this thing with Mr. Ryan Kirkland Billings. KB, shout outs. Anything you got to say, dude? Hit it.
Oh, man. So, shout out to the fans, of course, man. Shout out to everybody in the bar room, of course. Shout out to my boy, Chris Watts, man. First time being on with you, man. I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Nice one, mate. Same here.
So, shit, other than that, dog, yeah. I think that's shit else, bro.
Cricket.
Oh, whoa. You know what? No. Shout out to Marvel Studios for that fucking Spider-Man movie because it was amazing. Oh, my God. Okay. That's...
All right. Over to Mr. Aaron Curran, AC in the place to be. What up?
Yeah, I know you said no predictions, but I got to do a prediction because that's
I said if you
I feel like that's the way. I feel like that's the
We're
way
nice
you wrap
here.
up the show.
We're nice here.
I think it's going to be kind of a boring game, honestly, but I think it'll be a close game because of primetime Kirk. It's going to come down to who wants it the least.
Yeah,
and I love to see Justin Fields continue to grow and learn to read these NFL defenses. Vikings have a very good defense, so I think he can learn a lot playing tomorrow. I do think the Vikings end up winning, but it is a close game. I'm thinking like 27-24, coming down to the last minute. The Vikings have, I think, led in every game and lost, the amount that they've lost. So that goes back to what I was talking about, who wants it the least. So shout out to my wife first and foremost. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to my son. He started Christmas break yesterday, so he's pretty pumped up. Merry Christmas to everybody. The next time we see y'all, Christmas is going to be over with. Or Happy Hanukkah or whatever you celebrate. Happy holidays, I guess. Yeah, we're I work at Toyota, so we don't do Honda days. So if you celebrate Happy Honda days, I'm sorry, but Happy Toyota-thon to everybody out there. Go out there. But yeah, so that's all I got. My man KB was wearing a Spider-Man mask yesterday. If y'all ain't see him on Instagram Live, he had the black mask, and they was out there wilding watching.
Hold on, real quick, because that does bring me back to something. I'm sorry, guys. I got to bring this up. So after the movie, we sat in the hall, like in the little auditorium area, and people coming out, of course, because the movie just kept ending across the whole theater. And I can't see shit out this mask. I'm just gonna let you know that I can't see a goddamn thing. So I can vaguely make out this figure of a black guy. You know what I'm saying? We probably about the same age. He looks over to me and he says, "Hey, look, it's Spider-Man." So I turn, I'm like, I chuckle my deuces because I can't really see shit. Comes over to me. He says, "Hey, can my son come say hi to you?" Hell yeah, your son come say hi to me. Little 3-year-old boy. It probably made my night more than watching the movie. You go down, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm Spider-Man, give him a high five. He tried to hug me. Asked him a couple questions and stuff like that, and it was like you can just see the joy in his face. And yeah, I was gonna say, man, that probably made my night more than watching the movie, man. So yeah, I had to say that.
That's badass, man.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
Dope
That's the way.
KB.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, man. I got my own Spider-Man costume over here. I think I'm still sitting in the or in the closet. But remember a couple of years ago, I had that bitch on. I was gonna wear it to the Bears game, but then I was like, you know what? It's gonna be fucking cold. I got too much other shit I gotta wear, so I decided not to. I'll be fucking freezing my little fucking web slinger off. You know what I'm saying? wasn't trying to do that. But all right, let's kick it over to the special guest, Mr. Chris Watts. Any shout outs or any game predictions you want, Chris?
How do you follow that, Bobby? How do I follow that? I think I've just got a feeling that we're going to win. I don't know why, and there's no logic in this reasoning at all. But I think we might win 28-21.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I just got a feeling. And my shouts out is obviously to you guys at the network for letting me come on again. It's been really great speaking to you, Bobby and KB, face to face for the first time. After watching you for a long, long time, you know, like that sort of long time listener, first time caller sort of vibe. So like, yeah, just thank you for the network, man. I know like it's hard for us to sort of bring up things because everything's really negative, but I just hope people just hold on, see what happens at the end of the season, and then let's have a better season next year.
Yeah, definitely, man. And you're right. It's great. I mean, we always want the best, right? We want the win. We want to keep it going. And there's never a time where I don't want them to win, right? Even last year or a couple of years ago, we had this talk with the whole fucking 2 wins, and we're like, just fucking, do you want them to just lose to get the draft pick, or do you want them to win just because, you know, whatever? And that's always a big debate, and which is unfortunate for all of us Bears fans, but it's been a debate more times than not. But definitely, Chris, we love having you on, dude, and whatever, man. You just fucking, if you want, you hang out the rest of the season with us, you know?
I am. About Manchester, I can do it. So you're gonna
let's do it, brother.
3-4 games.
Hell yeah, I'm down 100%. Badge, over to you, brother. Shout outs, fucking predictions if you got them, if you want them. I mean, the Bulls are playing on Sunday too. So are you watching the Bulls or are you watching the Bears? Or never mind, because it's Sunday and Monday. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely watching the Bulls tonight. I have to find one thing to enjoy. In my life, and right now that's the Bulls, even though they haven't played in 9 days. But yeah, I will be watching them tonight. Score prediction, it matters. As much as I don't want Justin Fields to play, being that he's going to, I just hope he doesn't get hurt and loses any time to be healthy for next season. So I wish for that. I just don't think this team. I don't want to see this team go on a hot streak here, and all of a sudden we get to this point where they're close to, oh man, they could finish, 8,
don't
whatever.
give them a reason to bring anybody back.
I just don't fucking want any reason for anything. So. That's the only reason I would draft picks. We don't even have a first rounder. It don't fucking matter.
Right.
Like I just don't want anybody returning that was on this coaching staff in any part of Nagy's tenure. And sorry to those that really haven't had an impact, but I just don't want any of the same people. Shout outs to you guys. Always first and foremost. Everybody at the Barroom Network, the chat, man, we love having you guys every week. It's so much fun interacting with you. We appreciate it greatly. And thank you so much for tuning into us each and every week.
Absolutely, man. I'm gonna go out on a limb here with mine. First, let me start shout outs first.
Don't you do it. Don't you fucking do it, Bobby.
I'm gonna do it, dude. Let me start shout outs first. First, shout out to my daughter, my oldest, Mrs. Audrey. She graduated college last week, last Saturday. College graduate. Congrats to her. And thank you. So we were out, we had a little Airbnb on the beach, and that's why I wasn't here last Sunday, because Saturday night, man, we fucking tore it up. But either way, congrats to her on graduating and all that. And then shout out to all you guys. Chris, thanks for joining again, dude, and being part of this with us. And it's good having all the boys together, having everybody back in and all of us just on the show this morning. Of course, shout out to the Barroom Network, everybody involved with here. Now, Game predictions.
Don't you fucking do it, Bobby.
AC,
Come to my side, Bobby.
AC, I get what you were saying, but the Vikings defense is ranked like 27th, man. They're like one
Our
of the
offense is ranked 32nd.
Thank you.
Our offense is 32nd, and the Vikings defense is 27th. So I'm gonna go with a field day, man. I'm gonna say Fields fucking shows out, that he has a good fucking game. I don't know if I'm hoping Nagy's not calling the plays, and maybe one of these coaches being out with COVID protocols and this and that, whatever, that the game plan changes or something. I don't fucking know, man.
Nick Foles call the plays.
Nick Foles.
That's
Back.
fine. That's fine with me. Like, as long as Nagy ain't doing it, I don't give a fuck. But I'm gonna say I don't think we get the win, but I'm gonna say Fields has another good fucking day, another good day of putting things together, another good offensive attack, which is something that we don't really have. I'm gonna say this thing's a shootout. I'm gonna say we score over 30 again, but we still get the loss. I think if there's a game to do it, it's I think they're like 28th in pass defense,
and they just released Breland, who was probably their best corner. So I mean, it could the shootout thing could happen. We might.
Yeah, I still think we get the loss, but I want to see. I think it's going to be a good day for Fields. If A-Rob stays in COVID protocols, whatever, we get another chance to look at, get some more evaluations on these guys who might not be here next year, or they might decide their fate for next year. So whatever. I just want to see a good game. I want to see development, and that's something that we've always talked about is not something you see out of these Bears. So that's really it. If you're still in the chat, if you're still hanging with us to the very end, smash the fucking smash the like button, subscribe to the Bar Room, get all the updates on everything like that. We got the Fantasy Football Goon coming up next. They're gonna have their show, and playoff ready, baby. It's time to be playoff ready. There's only a couple weeks left, depending on
Lamar
what kind
Jackson
of league.
might not be playing, so if he drove you to the playoffs, you might need to find somebody else.
Yeah, and all these COVID protocols, possible fucking game time decision type shit, man. It's gonna be rough. So make sure you tune into that. Tune into Fantasy Football Goon next. It might get you paid. There might be a special little secret there. But then again, thank you to everybody for joining us. Greatly appreciate you guys hanging with us on a fucking 4-9 team. Love seeing this thing packed, and hopefully this place stays packed and Soldier Field is empty, so there's more reason to fucking fire everybody. Love you all. Fucking bear down.
Bear down.
Bear down.